And look, the American middle class. It's that thing we all think we're a part of, like a giant, vaguely stressed out book club where everyone is just pretending they finished the reading. It's the American dream, right? The house, the 2.5 kids, the golden retriever, the simmering panic about a $700 medical bill. But here's the thing, that dream is turning into a fever-induced nightmare where you're trying to run, but your legs are made of avocado toast. In 1971, 61% of us were in the middle class. Today, it's 50%. That's not a decline, that's a disappearing act. You're becoming an endangered species, and the main poacher is everything. Let's start with the big one, housing, the cornerstone of the middle class dream, that little white picket fence fantasy. Well, guess what? That fence is now made of solid gold unicorn horns, and you can't afford it. The data says 45% of middle income renters are now cost burdened, meaning they spend over 30% of their income just on rent. That's double what it was in 2001. You're spending so much on a roof that you can't afford to put anything under it, except maybe a pile of your own tears. And if you want to buy a house, good one. You now need a six-figure income to afford a home in over 150 metro areas outside of California. That's right, it's not just San Francisco or LA anymore. You can now be spectacularly priced out of places you've barely even heard of. Sorry, honey, we can't afford that starter home in Boise, Idaho. We don't have the $100,000 salary. And it gets worse. Because while your rent is skyrocketing, your wages are not. Oh, sure, they'll tell you wages are up. Real hourly earnings increased 1.3% last year. 1.3%. That's not a raise. That's a statistical sneeze. That's the kind of increase your boss gives you, hoping you won't notice it's an insult. Here's what that really means. A household making $100,000 today has the same purchasing power as one making $80,000 in 2020. Your money is literally shrinking. It's like the movie, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but instead of Rick Moranis, the villain is just the entire economy. So where did all the money go? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. It went to the corporate overlords. Market concentration is at a record high. A few giant companies in healthcare, tech, and even groceries are sitting on the economy like a 500-pound gorilla, suppressing your wages and jacking up prices just because they can. And at the exact same time, union membership, the one tool designed to give workers a tiny bit of leverage, has been systematically dismantled, falling from over 20% of workers in 1983 to just 10% today. It's like they invited you to a boxing match, broke both of your arms, and then wondered why you weren't fighting back hard enough. So how do you fight back? Now, this is the part where some financial guru tells you to just tighten your belt or cut back on lattes. But you can't cut back on a rent payment that just ate your entire paycheck. The solutions they offer are just insulting. They tell you to try fractional real estate investing. Well, congratulations. For just $100, you can now own a single non-load bearing brick in a duplex in Ohio. You're not a homeowner, you're just a patron of a very specific brick. Or my favorite, house hacking. That's the cheerful Silicon Valley term for having roommates in your 40s. Yes, the new American dream, buying a duplex you can't afford so you can live in one half and rent out the other, effectively making you the live-in, stressed-out landlord to a stranger who definitely doesn't clean the microwave. That's not wealth building, that's a sitcom plot from hell. And then there's the side hustle. You don't just have one job anymore. Oh no, you're a full-time office manager, a part-time DoorDash driver, and you sell bespoke hand-knitted hats for cats on Etsy. You're not even a person anymore. You're a walking sleep-deprived conglomerate. No, here's the real fight. If you actually want to save yourselves, you have to stop thinking like a hustler and start thinking like a class. First, unions. I know. For some of you, that word conjures up images of burly men in hard hats. But the evidence is crystal clear. Union workers earn about 20% more than their non-union peers. That's not a side hustle. That's just your main job paying you what you're worth. And guess what? Union petitions are up 53%. People are finally remembering that collective bargaining is just a fancy term for not letting your boss screw you over individually. Second, politics. And I'm not talking about the red versus blue screaming match. No, I mean local politics, the stuff that actually screws you. The single biggest threat to your housing stability is zoning. In most of America, it is literally illegal to build anything other than a giant single-family house. Why? Because the people who already have their houses show up to town meetings and complain that a duplex, God forbid, will ruin the neighborhood character. What they mean is, I don't want to see people who can't afford my house living in my neighborhood. We need to fix this. We need to actually allow smaller, more affordable homes to be built. And finally, anti-monopoly. We have to break these giant companies up. Your grocery bill isn't high because of inflation. It's high because 2 or 3 giant chains colluded to buy out all their competitors, and now they can charge you $9 for a box of cereal. This isn't capitalism. It's a protection racket. So, what's the move? Well, do the boring stuff first. Yes, build that 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Automate it. It's your financial armor. You can't fight a dragon if you're naked. This book right here, Profit First, changed my life. Get it. And then get political, but small. Go to a city council meeting, just one. Find out who's blocking a new apartment building in your town and ask them, why do you hate people who want to live here? Talk about your salary. Seriously, the only person who benefits from wage secrecy is your boss. Talk to your coworkers. And if you're really feeling spicy, whisper the word union around the office. Look, this isn't easy. The system is rigged, but it was built to be rigged, which means it can be unbuilt. Did you know the top 1% of Americans now hold more wealth than the entire middle class, all 51% combined? Now, if that doesn't make you want to go start a union, or at the very least show up at a zoning meeting, I truly don't know what will. Or you can just follow the proverbial words of Will Rogers. Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. Because all of this stuff, it's all easy to do. Anyone can do it. But it's all just so damn boring, most won't. And that's why the middle class is disappearing. If you don't want to get political, and you don't want to rally the troops at the office to start a union, then watch this. It's the final frontier where the middle class has a legitimate shot at saving itself. Thanks for watching, and if I don't see you here, I'll see you next time. Take care.